guys may be surprised, but it does actually get pretty cold here in Florida. Like right now, my hands are freezing. And I know some of you might be thinking, dude, Florida doesn't get cold. Being an independent music artist in 2026 is a little bit different than it's been, say, in the years 2020 to 2023. Because, believe it or not, a lot can change in just a few years, especially in the music industry. Being an independent music artist doesn't mean you're unknown, but it does mean you're self-directed. And nowadays, there's more tools than ever before to use, but just because there's more tools doesn't necessarily make it a more straightforward process. Number one is the reality check. Nowadays, there's more tools than ever before, but there's also more noise than ever before. Having that kind of access is great, but it doesn't automatically equal attention. It doesn't automatically mean that people are going to be tuning into what you're doing. Distribution is the easy part, but finding meaning is a bit more tricky. The thing about algorithms is that they don't necessarily reward talent. It's sad, but it's true. They reward consistency and clarity. Number two is that independence doesn't mean rebellion anymore. So what do I mean by that? Being indie used to mean anti-label, but nowadays it just means things like you own your own masters, you choose when to scale, and you treat labels more as partners rather than as saviors. Because the real flex for independent artists in 2026 is not getting signed. It's not needing to be signed. Boom! Independence isn't the backup plan anymore, it's the main road. Number three is we have to wear a lot of hats. We're not just the artist, we are the brand, marketer, customer support, all the things that you would need in running a business. So to be an independent artist, you essentially are a business person of sorts, because you are running a business and it's you as the business. You are the face, you are the sound, and you are the image. And there's that constant pressure to create content, and nowadays that is also part of the brand, is just creating content, and it adds the pressure of, if I am not constantly visible, I'll disappear. If I don't post, I'm gonna disappear. If my post doesn't perform well, that says something about the music. And that's not necessarily true, especially nowadays in 2026. The hardest part in 2026 is not making the music, it's protecting your relationship with the music. Number four is creating content. Content does not equal selling out, but it can hollow you out if you're not careful. So, content is the language of today's era. You have to make content to be visible. However, a couple things to be careful of is that chasing trends can make you replaceable, and having depth builds longevity. Short form content should be the window, it's not the entire house. So, in other words, think of it this way. You don't want your music to feel like an accessory to your content. You want the content to feel like a doorway into your music. So in 2026, there's a new definition of success that we have to look at, and it's not virality, it's not streams, it's not even necessarily follower count. So nowadays we're looking more for direct supporters and people who actually show up. Me personally, I'd rather have 1,000 people who care deeply about my music than a million people who see it and just scroll past. And nowadays our audience is more global. They don't just live in one city anymore. Because culture is so fragmented, it's actually a gift. We don't need mass appeal, but we do need resonance somewhere. And the way that I do this is I focus more on taste and mood and creating music that's timeless rather than focusing on trends and things that will pass by really quickly. Because the goal isn't to be everywhere, but it is to resonate somewhere. Being independent forces you to ask yourself, who am I without validation? And it's kind of a freeing mindset to have. Now, what do I want my music to mean? both to myself and to other people. Think in terms of legacy a little bit. In 2026, being an independent artist means you choose intention over momentum. So let me ask you this. Would you rather be seen by everyone or understood by a few?